So Nigeria's finance minister, also in charge of budget and national planning, Dr. Zainab Ahmed, today outlined some of the strategic initiatives of the government, even under the global virus pandemic. The finance chief was speaking among other delegates at the Deloitte Nigeria Economic Outlook 2021 conference. Let's listen.
A mix for me. When you look at the COVID-19, the question has still not been answered. Are we still in the first phase or are we in the second phase, second wave? And I don't have an answer for that because I'm not personal. So if we're in the second wave, then I will have said Nigeria's response has been a good one. And we can comfortably say we are in the recovery stage. And I hope we're in the second phase so that we're not facing any more health challenges. We are in the recovery phase. The recovery is indicated by the performance of the Nigerian economy in the third quarter of 2020. It shows the movement of almost 2.48% from between one quarter and another. And that's the highest growth rate we've ever witnessed in the country today from all of these years, between one quarter and another. So that's a very good performance. The fact that we have gone into recession and it appears that we will really be coming out of it very quickly also confirms the fact that we are on the path to recovery. All the predictions that have been done, whether it's the World Bank or the IMF or National Bureau of Statistics, is that by 2021, Nigeria will be in a positive territory growth. So we are on the path of recovery. We do hope that within the medium term that we will get to that thriving state because we want to attain a growth that is consistent and that is inclusive, not growth that is driven by revision in the crude oil price, but that some of our fundamentals have changed and that the macroeconomic stability has been achieved.
We know we're making some progress on the first version, and we're grateful for the opportunity and the input that Deloitte had to make into that particular process. But like you did mention, I think it is time for us to then recalibrate that because the first SRGI was done when we were just getting out of the recession of the last 4 or 5 years. So what's the plan? Because you touched briefly around that. So what's the plan and what's the timeline in terms of when you think we can be talking of 2.0 of SRGI?
So what we've done is we've just started a process to do a report on the performance of the SRGI. So it helps us to see what has worked and what has not worked. We've asked agencies to all turn in using the KPIs, their performance, and then we aggregate the report. Then we will now hold a consultative process to all collectively agree on how we can refine it. But I can tell you that we've already decided that we must add a thematic area that is centered around tax administration and tax compliance. We noticed during the period that revenue collecting agencies are busy measuring their performance on revenue collection rather than tax compliance. So we want to shift focus now to tax compliance because when you achieve tax compliance, the revenue will follow it. And compliance is both on the side of the tax collector, but as well as the revenue agencies, compliance to their own laid down processes and procedures. So that's one of the new things that we want to add in the SRGI 2.0. But then it will be a collective process and we will all have an agreement. And we will be reaching out to Deloitte to be part of that consultation.
So my question, the Honorable Minister, is, it's like you know, Nigerian VAT is one of the lowest, as agreed. But one topical point that is of importance is how do we improve and revolutionize input VAT system in Nigeria by taking it away from the current arrangement that provided a restricted input VAT claim arrangement. The point is around making our input VAT system to be in line and consistent with what you see all over the world. Even countries around us within the West Africa region have achieved this. And I think it's high time we start to look in and do detailed studies and look at it in detail, where we need to move away from what, in quotes, tend towards around a modified sales tax system to a more VAT structure that we see all over the world. The belief is that if we implement appropriate input VAT system in the way it is to be done, it will give a bit of more room that we cannot talk of balancing the increase in rate of VAT with the input VAT system. I mean, most countries are talking in double digits in terms of their VAT rate, but because they have a very right input VAT system, it allows them to make this adjustment. That would be my question. And like I mentioned in the past, we're still willing to work with you and the federal and the FRS to really put this in place so that it can be something we can do over a period. And then the input VAT system can really make a lot of revolutionary improvements in the Nigerian VAT system.
Well, thank you very much, Fatai. And true, you've been consistent from the design of the SRGI to date. But you see, what we've been trying to do is incremental changes. You know the nature of the Nigerian economy. If you do too many changes at a time, then it means you design to fail. So I wish we could have, in 2021, also do another round of changes or improvements on the VAT. We had to step back because we made a commitment, a general commitment that will not increase any taxes. So we didn't want to take any measure that would be interpreted to mean that we're increasing VAT. But we do have to improve on this VAT regime that we're currently improving. And when I say improve, it doesn't mean increase in the first place. And you're right. When taxpayers are able to recover VAT more easily, the increase in a new to a higher rate will be more acceptable. So we'll appreciate your support from you, because this is an area in which you are an expert. And already we did a consultation on the Finance Act Monday this week. We're already calling for inputs for Finance Act 2021. We hope that this one we will not have the crisis that we have had this year, and that we'll have a much longer period to actually consult and take inputs and make sure that a lot more people are carried along.
You have my commitment and the entire member of my team that will work with you on this.
Thank you very much.
It could be a journey of 2-3 years, but at least we can do it sort of progressively. At
least to do the studies, if you start by we're doing the studies, make the assessments, and then we start the changes on incremental basis until we get to where we want to go.
Yes.
If this thesis is correct, that we're at this inflection point of a long-term mega trend, what is the Nigerian government's thinking around, again, coming back to the point raised by the chair of diversification, considering the very real imperative to do so now because of what is this dramatic change that is taking place globally, that is not being caused but undoubtedly accelerated through this COVID-19 period. Minister, thank you.
Any country in the world today that is not recognizing that the oil and gas industry is on the decline is putting the whole of its economy in jeopardy. So we do recognize that. We're currently working on revising the petroleum industry bill. And the purpose for us is to get whatever we can get and sweat the industry while we can. We're shifting focus to gas. And for us, gas will be to drive development in the Nigerian economy itself as a group.
An engagement with Nigeria's Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning.